Oh my God. An error occurred and we're not streaming it. Isn't that lovely? Is any of the audio coming through? Oh, you can hear me? Oh, cool. Well, you can't see me though, right? Or can you see me? According to this, it says you can. Can you see me? Say something, Kenny. Something. Okay, so you can't hear me. Can you see me? That's what I want to know next. I guess you can hear me, but can you see me? Don't answer yes. Say yes, I can see you. Yes doesn't tell me anything. That's okay. I agree. Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing to see me, but at least okay. So, oh my God. All right. So the new laptop I bought for streaming this show is a piece of crap. Um, the camera's no good in it, and I don't know which camera we're using because I can't see. I don't have a camera. It says I've got a screen that says an error occurred. Please try again later. Playback ID, and there's some fucking number. Learn more. So I don't have anything. So I don't know I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know if you could see from the camera that's on the one I bought, the Logitech copy, which I was using in the old stream and the old location, or the camera that's in the laptop, which is a piece of crap. So I don't know, and then the audio's the same thing. I don't know if my audio's matching my mouth. It probably isn't. It is when we're using the camera from the. And I tested all this. It was fine a minute ago, but as soon as it went live, I lost the feed from the other camera, and I don't know why. So I could start pushing buttons. I know how much you love that. To try to fix it, I don't know. So, oh my God. I'm okay with this if you're okay with it. I'm not going to touch nothing if you're okay with it. If you want me to try to fix it, I will. But if we're good, I'm going to just leave it alone. I don't care. We're good. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I don't care. As long as you guys are good, I'm good. So I'm about 2 seconds late on the voice. Okay, so that's because we're using the laptop camera and audio, which sucks. Okay, I've got the other camera was working 10 seconds ago. Before I went live, it was fine. I had both feeds, and as soon as it went live, I lost the new camera. I only get the laptop camera. I have no idea why I did that. I know if I stop the show and restart it, we'll be fine. It has something to do with this being a, the pre setup show is what screws this up. So if I shut the whole thing down and start over with a new stream, it'll be fine. So you guys decide. I don't care. I'm good either way. It doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want. I'm perfectly fine. But this new laptop is the only thing. Listen, the old laptop streamed fine, but the technology it's running Windows 7. Firefox and Chrome no longer support Windows 7, nor does anybody else. So, actually I think it was updated to Windows 8, and they're not supporting that either. So I can't run any of the good stuff, the new stuff, on that laptop. I can run it on this laptop, but it doesn't run very well on this laptop because this doesn't have enough smoke to run it. So, it's a nice HP laptop. I didn't buy a big piece of crap. It's a nice laptop. It's not a gaming laptop, but I'm not trying to play games. I'm just trying to do a stream. So, anyway, I thought this was going to fix everything, and I had it working good. Like I said, it's when I set up the pre-show is what screws this up, and maybe it's my fault. I'm not good at this. The pre-show. This is all new to me. I never used to set up a pre-show, and maybe I'm setting it up wrong. I don't know. But anyway, so let's get, unless you guys want me to restart this, let's just get to the good stuff, which is, listen, there's a ton of sales going on right now. If you guys want to save some money on RC stuff right now, man, there are some killer deals going on. If you go to Horizon, and they all end tomorrow, so don't wait. I think the runs at Horizon are still on. Trust me, guys, I can't open a window and try that. It definitely doesn't have enough smoke to run the show and a side, show. So forget that. But I can talk about it. So I know that Horizon had the Carbon Z T28 on sale, $150 off, and they have several other stuff on sale. Fair RC has all of FMS's stuff on sale, big time, and you can go straight to FMS. So either way, you can go to FMS or you can go to Fair RC, and they have some great deals going on. About time I upgraded to Windows 11. Well, you remember when I was doing the show from my ex-wife's apartment? That was on the laptop that's in the house, and that's on Windows 11. I should just go get that one and bring it out here and put this in the house. And I'm thinking about doing that, because this thing is a piece of crap. So I might just do that. But anyway, so FMS has got some killer deals. You can buy the 1400, the P40. It's $120 off. That brings it down under $300, guys. It's like $289, I think. The T28, the 1400 size T28 is on sale. I think it's $80 or $90 off. And the Corsair, the 1400 size Corsair, is also either $80 or $90 off. I ordered all three, guys. My 1400 FMS Corsair is the special edition Sturmbach or whatever Red Bull plane, and I've crashed it a couple of times. Minor damage, no big deal. I can fix it, but I don't want to keep flying it. I don't want to lose my Red Bull plane. So I bought a second one, a standard basic 1400 Corsair that's not a Red Bull plane that I can fly and not worry about screwing up my Red Bull plane. So that's why I did that. I bought a brand new T28, I don't know, 6 months ago. And I flew it, but I put a tactic radio in it. And of course that failed. I've had good luck with tactic in the past. But this didn't work. I complete radio failure. Crashed it. Not too bad. Definitely fixable. But this one's 90 bucks off. That one was only like 30 bucks off. So I bought another one. So I'll fix this one in flight anyway, but I'll have a backup one for that. And I've never had the P40. I've always wanted that P40. Never had it. Never wanted to spend the money for it because they really want a lot of money for that one. And but when they came out with it at $120 off, I had to pull the trigger on that. And Crystal, it's your husband's fault. Dave is the one that called me and told me this stuff, and so I'm blaming Dave. We're even. He keeps blaming me for all of his money spending, so now I'm blaming him. So we're even. So I bought all three, because I just these are good airplanes. So, and I didn't really look at any of the surface stuff because I had just bought, 2 weeks ago. Horizon had a great deal on some surface stuff. The Vortec truck, monster truck, and the Fury monster truck were on sale, like 130 bucks off or something. And I was playing with both of those today out at the flying field. I went flying today, and I was running both the trucks around, and David's laughing. And yeah, so I had a great time with those, and so I really wasn't looking at any more surface stuff. There is a 8th scale Team Associated truck at Horizon that's on sale. I think it's $150 off or something. So if you were looking for a big, it might even be a gasser. I'm not sure it's electric. I think it might be a gasser. I'm not sure. But if you're interested in that, listen, I'd go check everybody out right now, guys. There's some killer sales going on right now for Father's Day. And they all end tomorrow, or tonight. I'm not positive on that, but check them out because there's some big savings out there right now. And, so I got three 1,400 size airplanes. One I've never had. One I have, but like I said, my Red Bull, I don't want to fly it anymore. I'm gonna get it all pristine looking again, and I'm gonna hang it up. It's not gonna be a flyer anymore. I don't want to ruin my Red Bull plane. It's really cool. It's a very cool looking scheme they put on the Corsair. That's a little different than the standard FMS one. So I'm gonna fly the standard one. A good flyer. Love that plane. It flies really good. Um, and I've never had. And the T-28 is. Like I said, I just bought that, and it was flying great until the tactic radio. I lost signal, and it went in, and it just broke the fuselage in half, and it was a clean break. So it's an easy fix. Broke the prop. I ordered a prop with a replacement prop with these three airplanes. So I got a prop coming to fix that one. I don't think it damaged the cowl even. It just broke the fuselage in half right at the back of the wing. So I know I can fix it. So I'm not too worried about that. But anyway, so I bought all three of those. There's some really good deals out there right now, guys. So absolutely, go check them out. Even stuff I haven't looked at Banana, but Banana probably has some sales going on too. They usually do. If everybody else does, they do. Even Hobby King probably has some sales going on. Well, actually, I know they do, but I didn't see anything there that catches my fancy. But hey, go look. You might see something. I really love the new pre-order PBY. I've been wanting to get a PBY forever. I've been dying to buy the Dynam one, even though it's kind of lame. But now with this one, because this one's got working retractable floats. And the Dynam one, I've seen a bunch of videos on people modifying their Dynam one so that they have retractable floats. But this bigger one from Hobby King comes with retractable floats. So I'm gonna jump on that. I'm not right this moment, but I'm gonna order that plane. I really like it. And I flew my both my Super Tucanos today, and they fly great. I love those planes. The Nexus Balsa one from Motion that I bought used, that one flies great. Love that one. And then I flew my Super Tucano from the Avios one from Hobby King, and that one flies fantastic too. Great airplanes. I flew my Viper Jet. several times today. I flew my L-39, the one from Banana Hobby, the $200 64 millimeter, comes with everything: flaps, retracts, all aluminum trailing arm retracts, um, lights, everything for less than 199 or 209. It depends on whether it's on sale or not. But great jet. Flew that today. What else did I fly? I flew. Okay, both Tucanos. Oh, my Carbon ZT-28. Kind of, I screwed that one up today. I actually crashed that one into a tree. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Um, let's see. I flew the Tucano twice. The Avios. I flew the other one once. L-39, T-28. Flew something else. What the hell else did I fly? Uh, oh, my new Timber, the UMX Timber. I made in that today. So I flew that. Oh, the Crescendo glider, the UMX one. That thing is such a rocket ship. I love that little glider. Um, let's see, what else? I think that's all I flew today. Okay, so more on the crash. So our field is kind of cool. We've got this, there's like a clearing at one end where the trees are cut out, and I fly out, really low. I fly out through that hole all the time, and I go up and I do a U-turn out there pretty far away, but I can see it just fine, and come back through the same hole really low, right on the runway. I've been doing that for years, no problem. Well, today I was a little bit lower than normal, like a foot. I mean, it was really close. And I went out past the trees. I'm past the trees that are here, but there's a tree hidden over here on the right in the back. And I caught the top of that tree with the wing, which, of course, spun it around. I never saw any of it. I lost sight of it as it went around the corner, but I heard it go boing. So I knew I hit it. And I was like, ah, crap. And then I heard the second boing when it hit the ground. It didn't hit the ground, but it hit the bottom of the tree. So we went over there, and the two guys that were helping me couldn't find it. And I was laughing at both of them. I said, I know where it is. It's in that tree over there. It's where it hit. I'm sure that's where it is. And that's where it was. So we went over there, and the damage isn't bad. I can fix it. No big deal. It took a chunk out of the left wing because it caught the right wing, and then I'm sure it like flinged it around this way, and it took a chunk out of the left wing. But I have all the pieces, and I you know me and my Gorilla Glue mix, so not going to have any problem fixing that. So it'll be fine. And I was going to repaint that one anyway. This is the plane I bought on eBay. I don't know if you guys remember that. I bought it off that RC for You 77 guy. It was all wrinkled up from a fork truck that crushed it. So I bought it cheap, and I steamed all the wrinkles out of it and got it all back together. But I had never painted it, and I was planning on repainting it anyway. I want to do a tribute to that SR-71 pilot who died. He crashed in that T-28 in a camo paint scheme. So I'm gonna do a tribute to him and repaint that one in his color scheme when he crashed it in before he then he was a burn victim for all his years. I can't think of his name. Brian Schulz. It just came to me. Brian Schulz. So I'm going to do a tribute paint job on my T-28 to what he was flying when he crashed before he became an SR-71 pilot. So that was always the plan. So now that no big deal. I'll fix repair the wing, and then I'm going to paint it anyway. So no big deal. I was laughing to myself for being stupid, As soon as I went past, because normally I go up above the tree, as I make my turn. And this time I was just below and went out of sight for just a second. And then I ended up hitting the tree. So anyway, no big deal. So I got, it came back in one piece. I mean, the whole plane was there, and then a chunk out of the wing. And you guys saw me cut a chunk out of that, my PT-17 FMS wing, and then re-glue it. And then on the other side, I actually remade it out of Gorilla Glue. So I did all that. If you haven't seen the videos, they're on my channel. Go watch that whole series on how I repaired it. Perfect repair. So I'm not gonna have any problem. Um, oh, did he really? I didn't see that. So Dave did a T28 camo scheme. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did see that. Yeah, it was a wasn't it like brown and green or something? I forget. I think I did see that. Um, he just got a new number. Why? Do you know why he had to get a new number? So anyway, that was my story today. I went, about 3 weeks ago and flying. I got a bunch of video, guys. I just have to edit it. Um, I'm going to talk in a couple of them, but or not. I might just add music to them. Maybe you guys don't want to hear me. Yeah, you know what? Give me a comment. Do you like it when I talk over it, explaining why my radio talks and what it's doing or anything? Or do you just want to hear the music? You just want me to edit it and put music on it? Which way you like it better? Because I'll do whatever you guys want. I don't care either way. I can cut the audio out and then add a music track. So that's easy. So let me know what just leave me a comment here. You like me talking or do you want to hear the music? Yeah, I agree, Shadow. Brian was listen, he was my hero. I loved Brian Schulz. I watched every one of his videos, and the more he told that story, the better he got at telling it. And he was so funny. Talked about the Navy pilots. Oh, I don't know what they're doing, picking their nose or whatever. It was hilarious. So the speed story over California and all that. I just loved it. So I thought I was going to get to meet him, um, because Jerry McGee from Imperial Flying, where I go, and they have the big flying every year. Um, he met Brian. They went to the same school, not together though. They were a few years apart, but they graduated from the same college, and he got to meet him. He got to talk to Brian, and when Brian tells the story, he tells you that he crashed a jet. Yeah, when you crash one of their jets, they usually don't want to give you another one. You know, and so. But he wasn't flying a jet when he crashed. He was flying a T-28. I didn't know that. Jerry told me that. Because he talked to Brian, and so he found out the real story. And yeah, Brian crashed in a T-28 and was burning in the jungle when they rescued him. So, and there are pictures of his T-28 out online, so I can get photos so I can duplicate the scheme. It was a tan and brown paint scheme is what was on the plane he crashed. So that was always my plan with this particular airplane. After I steamed all of the damage out of it from the fork truck and got it all so it would fly fine. I never bothered to touch up the paint, and so now I've got a little more repair work to do, and then I'm going to paint it. You know. So anyway, so that didn't really change much. I gotta replace. I broke the prop and I broke the cowl. So I gotta buy a prop and a cowl. But everything else is fine. Easy repair to fix the foam, so no big deal. Um, so hello, Michael. So let me do a shout out to everybody. So Jeff from Lower Alabama, EQ, how you guys doing? Michael Lambertino. I don't think I ever pronounced your name right. Reckham Roy, how you doing? Who else is here? David, Crystal, I saw you guys in here. Who else? Uh, let's see. Craig Beevan, good to see you. I think I got everybody. Let me do one more quick scan here. So thanks everybody for coming. I just got back from the field, grabbed a quick leftover salad from Applebee's, and came out here immediately and set this up for to give you guys a heads up that I was going live at 9:30, and then as soon as it went live, the whole thing shut down. So I don't know what the hell happened. But anyway, it works. It just doesn't work well, but I'm working on it, so it'll be better. I'll figure it out. Um, it did ask me a question about um, do I want to allow the camera to be used, and yes, or it said you know yes or block or something, and I thought if I blocked it, then I wouldn't be able to use the camera, so I said yes. Well, I think what it did, just guessing here, but it allocated the camera to be used directly with YouTube, and that's why it's blocking it from being used with OBS so that I can stream it to YouTube. I'm just guessing here, but I'm thinking that's what happened. That's why I say if I shut the whole thing down and start over a new show, it'll eliminate that, and then the right camera will work. Because I tested the camera the other day. You know, you guys, some of you guys, oh, I missed your show. No, you didn't. You didn't miss anything. I was just testing the camera. There was no show. I just went live for 5 seconds to test the camera. It worked. Everything was good. So, you know. So anyway, um, oh, Urban Legend. Yep. How you doing, man? I forgot to mention you there. Yeah. So, think I got everybody. So anyway, but yeah, the big thing I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight was all the sales that are going on, and I mean killer, $100 off, $150 off, $120 off. These are some big savings, guys. So if there's something out there, and there's a lot of Surface stuff from FMS on sale, and I really don't need any more Surface stuff at all, honestly. But there's some really good stuff out there. So another little tip, I could have bought it from Fair RC because they're here in Florida, and I would already have the stuff. But I bought $900 worth of airplanes, and I would have had to pay sales tax on it. But buying it through FMS Direct, I didn't have to pay sales tax on it. So that saved me some money. It's going to take a little longer to get here. It's shipped already, but it would have been here already if I had gotten it from Fair RC. But yeah, they didn't charge me sales tax buying it direct from FMS. So, and I don't ask me why. I don't know. I don't know how they're getting around that. I know all of you guys are dealing with it too. Some places you buy from are not sending, charging sales tax, and some places are. And I don't know the legalities of all this. I really don't care. If it's a small item, I don't give a shit. But $900 worth of airplanes um, at 7% is a big deal. So, I wanted to save some money. So I don't mind waiting a couple extra days to get it. So that's why I did that. But you guys do whatever you want. Horizon, like I said, they've got some stuff. Go to the clearance aisle too. Don't just go to Father's Day sale. They've got a Father's Day sale, they've got a summer sale, and they've got a clearance sale. Go look in all of them because that Team Associated 8th scale truck is in the clearance section, not in the Father's Day section. And it's a pretty good deal. I think it's under or just over $300 for an 8th scale gas nitro. I think it's a gas nitro truck. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. So, but check it all out. There's good deals out there. Yeah, Eric, I actually can print you some trees. Sure. You know, you want them 16 inches tall. You want them 12 inches tall. Yeah, I can hook you up. Definitely. I can print them in brown filament. I have brown here. I can print them in brown filament. You'll have to paint the green, or I can get some green filament, print them in green, and you'll have to paint the brown. So let me know which way you want to do it. You know, but yeah, I can hook you up. JCB, what's up? How you doing, Jim? Good to see you, buddy. So let's see what else is going on, and I'll touch on all this sales stuff again. About 30 minutes or so, in case more new people pop in. So um, so let's talk about my car purchases, because this is gonna be a 3D printer channel, an RC airplane channel, and an automotive racing and show car, full scale car stuff show. So I know a lot of you guys know I bought a Dodge Daytona, and I had the big toy on here to show. I can go get it again if you want to see it. Um, so quick update, Victor, what's up? How you doing, man? So so in '06, when Dodge and Chrysler Daimler came together and started making all these muscle car rear wheel drive muscle cars, and back in '06. I think the CTS from Cadillac was the only rear wheel GM car, period. I believe Pontiac was gone. Oldsmobile was. I think Pontiac and Oldsmobile were already gone. Um, so it was a big deal, that they came out with a rear wheel drive car with a Hemi in it. Not a true Hemi, but a Hemi nevertheless. Um, any Hemi ticks? I don't know what you mean by ticks, but let me know. Well, Bill, what's up? How you doing, man? Um, so so I really wanted this car. When the first Charger that was delivered to Florida came to Kenyon Dodge right down here in Clearwater, and me and two of my buddies, we sat there for 4 hours waiting for that truck to get here to deliver that car so we could see it. That's how hot we were for that car. So they unloaded it, and we were all ooh on all over it, everything, and um, and it pretty much ended there because I didn't have $33,000 to buy a new one. But it's always But I bought all the toys. So all the toy companies, Tyco came out with this big beautiful, and I have them. I can go get them if you want to see them. Tyco came out with a 300. That giant. You remember that? If you haven't seen it, it's a good 2 feet long. Dodge Daytona, and they brought it out in three flavors. You could get it in yellow, which is the one I wanted. The mango, which I didn't mind. I bought the toy. I probably wouldn't have bought the real one in mango unless I got a really good deal on it. And then an SRT8 version, which had the hood scoop and a few other little mods. Well, New Bright came out with all three of these. Well, no, I take that back. Um, New Bright came out with all the three colors, but they came out with the Daytona and the Magnum. When the Magnum's the station wagon. So New Bright came out with those two, and then Tyco came out with the Chrysler 300. So I bought all three of those. So I've got the Chrysler Magnum and the Chrysler 300, and I have four of the Dodge Chargers, the Daytonas. And I got two yellow ones, the Mango, and then the SRT8's a two-tone red and silver. Don't like that. I'm going to repaint it. Uh, the 300 is black, and the Magnum is the candy red, which I love. And I also have the Camaro, same size, a big 2 foot the new Camaro that came out in 2010 or whatever. I have one of those, and I got a bunch. I got a Hummer. The Hummer is gigantic. And you could put a bar. It's a Barbie doll size. You can put a Barbie doll. The door is open. You could put a Barbie doll in the driver's seat of the Hummer. It makes engine sounds. Just shifts gears. It's got all the lights work, blinkers. It's really all of them have all that. They're really cool cars. The Magnum's kind of the neatest of them because Magnum's got two extra buttons. They all have the two sticks, go forward, backwards, left, right, all that. But the Magnum, they all have a button in the middle to play music. And it came with an onboard kind of a R&B um, rapping kind of music. It's okay. It's not bad. And it's just a standard, music. But it also has the ability to put a MP3 player in the trunk and plug in a headphone jack and play whatever music you want. Because as soon as you do that, it overrides the music that came on the card and plays whatever you're playing. And the 300, it actually has a shelf in there to put a DVD or a CD player. The portable CD players. You can take your CD player, open the trunk, and slide it right in there and plug in the headphones. So you can actually have a CD playing in the 300, which is really cool. But you can just plug in an MP3 player too. Whatever, doesn't matter. It'll accept either. So they're really cool cars. But the Magnum has two extra features that's really interesting. So when you shut the Magnum down, there's a button you press to lock the doors. And it goes when you lock the doors. Okay, so you press the button and it goes and like it's locking the doors. If you press it again, you get a chirp, and then it does the engine start sound. And then you have an engine running. So that's kind of cool. The other ones don't do that. Just the Magnum does that. And then the Magnum also has a horn button. So at the car shows, I used to drive it over to one of the guys, one of my friends sitting in his chair, and I'd run over there and park the car in front of him, and then I'd start honking the horn at him. And that usually, provoked them to take a swat at it, like throw something at it or whatever. And it was hilarious. But the Magnum's the only one that does that. The 300 doesn't have that capability, neither do the Daytonas. So I don't know why the Magnum has that. But anyway, so the Magnum's the most fun to take to the car show because you can, honk horns and it makes everybody laugh. So, but they're really cool. They're super huge. They don't fit between here. I have to turn them this way. They're really big, beautiful colors. They're really nice. So so I've had these all since '06, and then I just now finally got the deal I needed to get a Daytona. So I've got myself a real Daytona, a yellow one. It's in really great shape. I mean, really great. It's damn near perfect. And the headlights were cloudy. It was Tuesday. I put new headlights and new fog lights in my Daytona, which now it is absolutely beautiful. The taillights were perfect. Everything else. There's a couple of little teeny weeny little tears in the driver's seat. I'm gonna fix those, and that's it. The car is perfect inside and out. The paint's really good. It's not perfect, but it's really good. And the car just looks great. But taking it to car shows every week. Just a little driving show, not a big, car show, but and parking next to the new Challengers, the Hellcats, and it just looks great there. So I've been having a lot of fun with that, and and then the other day, when you're looking at something on Facebook Marketplace, when you've um, getting ads. Yeah, I can't stop the ads, guys. Even when I tell them I don't want ads, they're putting them in anyway. Okay, so now I'm just saying I want them you should only get one every 30 minutes, because that was the maximum I could go, and that's what I picked. Because I can't stop them. They're going to put them in anyway. But I picked one every 30 minutes. So that's what you should be getting. It's no more than that. So if you're getting more than that, let me know. Um, so so they keep sending. I go on Facebook for whatever, not looking for a car, just anything, but all this shit pops up in my feed. Well, a Dodge Magnum uh, popped up in my feed, and the guy only wanted $750 for it. And I'm like, holy shit. And it looked really good in the picture, so I clicked on it, and I read it. New paint job, brand new wheels, blown motor. Motor's got a knock. $750. I'm like, well, shit. There's no dents in it. It's straight. The paint looks pretty good. I'm like, So I sent him a message. $500? Question mark. He says back, okay, fine. I just want it out of my yard to come get it. So I did. I went and bought it. I bought $500. What a nightmare getting it. All right, but I got it. So going there, I got it was in Orlando, so it was about an hour and 40-minute drive. I think it was hour and 50 minutes, something like that. And it was less than 100 miles. Um, I'm 18 minutes from where I need to meet the guy. I blow a tire on the trailer. And I'm like, oh, shit. So, no problem. I can drive down the road on the, it's dual axle. It's not going to affect anything. So, it had blown. I didn't actually feel it blow. I just stopped. I felt something. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, this doesn't feel right. So I pull over into a closed, I think it was some kind of a trailer park or a campground or something. And Fred, what's up? How you doing? And I pull in there and get out and look, and yeah, sure enough, one of the tires on the back is shredded. I got sidewalls, and then the tread area is just hanging on by strings. So I go get my handy one of these, my super cool, great knife, by the way, guys. You got to get, if you don't have these, go get them. Dollar Tree, $1.25. You get the handle with one knife in it, and you get 2 extra blades for $1.25, and these are awesome. So I took my little handy knife out and I cut all the rubber, just went through it like butter, and just cut the whole damn tread off. So I just had sidewall. And the sidewalls are just rolling down the road, so they're keeping the wheel off the road. The wheel's not getting tore up at all. I get back on the road, and like I said, I'm just down the road, and I'm talking to God. I do that a lot. And boy, it'd be sure nice if there was a Tractor Supply company near on the way or close by, so I can get a tire. And boom, there it is. I drive right past. It's not a mile from the location where I've got to meet this guy, and there's a Tractor Supply right there. So all right, cool. I'm gonna come back here and get a tire. I'll just go meet the guy first. So I get to the parking lot he wants to meet at. It's a shopping center. There's an O'Reilly Auto Parts store in there, and I don't know, some other stuff. And he's not there. So I text him, and he doesn't answer my text. And I'm like, oh, great. So I text him again. I said, listen, I blew a tire. I'm going back to Tractor Supply. If you want, to meet me there, because I'm going to go get a tire. And that's what he did. He texted me back, okay, I'll meet you there. So I go there, and I'm looking at the wheels. They don't have any wheel. Everything they have in a wheel with a tire mounted is a 4.5 bolt circle, and mine's bigger than that. Mine's either 4 3/4 or 5 on 5. So none of the wheels work, but they have tires. But I know I'm going to have to manually mount the tire, and I've done it before. It's not a big deal, but it's a pain in the ass. So I said, well, fuck it. I'm just going to buy a tire. I'll mount it myself. So that's what I did. So we get to his place, and I looked the car over real quick, and the car is beautiful. The seats are in great shape. The interior is in great shape. Door panels, the headliner, the paint's great, except on the roof and the top of the hood. The clear coat's already, cutting because it's been sitting his yard since 17. He bought it in 2017, and he ain't done nothing with it, including wax it. So of course the top surfaces have the clear coat's coming off. Um, yeah, JCB. So the reason you're getting the lag is um, I bought this new laptop and it's a nice HP laptop, but it's got a garbage camera and microphone in it, and I do mean garbage. So I hooked up that real nice Logitech copy one I bought, was using in the other stream. Remember, I left the blue film on it, and and then I peeled it off, and it got so much better. So I had that one hooked up, and it was working great, and I got all that pre-done and everything, and I even tested it before the show started. And as soon as I went live, that camera stopped working, and I only have the camera and the audio from the laptop, and it sucks. So I don't know why. It was working fine until I went live. So I got a comment something about, do you want to use the general webcam, or do you want yes or no? Well, it was yes or block, and I thought if I hit block, I won't be able to use it. So I hit yes. Well, I think when I hit yes, it actually allocated it to YouTube, and when it went live, YouTube took over control of that camera, even though it's not showing it, which made it doesn't show up in OBS now. OBS, I only have the laptop camera. The other one's out. It's black. I don't have it. So that's my guess what happened, but that's why it's lagging. So, and I asked everybody if they want me to shut the show down and restart it, I can fix it. But that's what I got to do. I got to shut the show down, restart it, and it'll be fine. But nobody wanted me to restart, so we're good. We're going with this. So enjoy the Godzilla movie. So anyway, I get there and we're the card's great, looks great. I'm so happy. $500. It's worth $500. No problem. So we get to work on getting my tire on the trailer fixed. So it took us about probably almost 2 hours to get the two. It's a lot easier to take a whole tire off of a rim than just sidewalls because you got no leverage. It's really a bitch to get just a sidewall, but not a whole tire. But we got them off, and then the new one mounted easy. I got the new one right on. I don't think we spent 10 minutes, and it got the new tire mounted. We couldn't air it up. To save our life, we could not air it up. I tried the lighter fluid trick, which has always worked. It wouldn't work this time. We had to run out and get lighter fluid. And we had to go to a smoke shop in that same parking lot where we met, where the O'Reilly's was. And came back and tried that over and over, and it just would not. I think it was just too humid, and it would not, give me that flash bang to pop it on the bead. And then I tried tying it with two straps. You put they make an inflatable ring. You put it around the center of the tire, and you pull it really tight. And then when you inflate it, it evenly pulls the center of the tire in, which pushes the sides out. And that'll usually get you, get it to mount. That wouldn't work either. We weren't having any luck with. We spent hours, and I do mean hours, fucking with this thing. And it was getting close to 5 o'clock. I got there at 8:45 in the morning, and now it's 5 in the afternoon, and we haven't even tried to load the car. We're still fucking with my trailer tire. So I said, listen, let's just go down to Walmart. They're only open till 5. It's 4:30. Let's go, and we'll just have them inflate it for us. And so he said, okay. So we throw it in the truck or the car, and we go, and we get to the intersection where Walmart is over there, and right there is a Firestone tire store, and they're open. I said, screw Walmart, go there. So we went to Firestone. I run right up to the door, just popped the trunk, got the wheel out, rolled it. The guy says, can I help you? I said, yes. Can you just air this thing up for me? We already mounted it and everything. Just air it up. And he just laughed. He says, if you can mount the tire, I can air it up. So he went over and aired it up for us, and boom. All right, now we're in business. So we get back, we put the wheel on the trailer. We're ready to start winching the car up on the trailer. Yeah. One of the wheels is locked. One of the back wheels. I think the emergency brake is locked. It won't roll. Oh, my God. So we spent another 4 hours trying to ratchet this thing up on my trailer, inch by inch. That one wheel is dragging. It's cutting a trench in the grass because it won't roll. And then it got to the ramp and the trailer ramp, and then it got hard against the ramp like this, and it was just compressing the tire against the ramp because it wouldn't roll up onto it. And we're wearing our asses out winching this thing up when the wheel won't roll. Um, yeah, Eric, we cut it off. The problem was I didn't want to if I put a cut of any kind in the bead on the wheel, then the tire was going to leak. So we were being so careful. I was cutting it off. I with this knife. I cut it off literally. I mean, we had it almost off with this knife, and so we finally got it off. But the saws. This guy doesn't have any tools, and I didn't bring a sawzall with me. This guy doesn't have any tools to speak of. He's got a few hand tools. He's an electrician, and all of his real tools are up in Georgia where he works. Yeah, he goes to Georgia every week. Monday morning early, stays up there till Thursday, comes home. He's off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And he says all of his tools are up there. So he didn't have the use of a sawzall. The knife worked. I got it cut all the way down to the rim, and we were just, there was just one steel cable, a little fine cable holding us up. But we finally got it off. So, but yeah, it was a fight. Getting the new one on was no problem. We got it on pretty easy. But the tire had been compressed from sitting for so long, and the beads were almost touching each other. And the rim is probably 8 inches wide, maybe 7. So we couldn't get the tire to bead up. I mean, we needed one of those blow underneath tire changers, which I have it here in my garage, but we didn't have it at his house. So that's why we had to take the Firestone to get them to beat it for us. And then so that was fun. So anyway, we're sitting there with the tire jammed up against the rim, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna go release the strap so we can tuck the ramp under the tire." And I no sooner say that and start walking toward the my come along, bang, and they said, "Hey, it just rolled up on the." And I said, "What?" They said, "Yeah, the tire just rolled up on top of the ramp." I said, "You're shitting me." He goes, "No, it broke free. It's on the ramp." So I go over to the come along, and I can do it with my pinky finger now. I'm just pulling, and it's just rolling right up on the trailer. I'm like, finally, oh my god! So we got it loaded, got it home. I rinsed it off real good. I didn't put any soap to it or a brush. All I did was rinse off all the mud and I don't know what it is with seashells down here, but I get them even on my property. I got these little tiny seashells all over my property. How the hell did they get here? I'm pretty far from the ocean, guys. I don't know. They ain't walking all the way here, I can tell you that. So I got seashells all over the car, so I'm rinsing those off. But they show up here sometimes, too. I come out to the door to come in the garage, and there's seashells all over the day. There's a snail in it. Little tiny ones. And he's walking up the door. And where the hell are these coming from? Anyway, they were all over the Magnum, so I rinsed all those off, rinsed off all the mud, everything. It's still on the trailer right now, but it looks really good. So the Magnum looks good. It's a nice car. And even Deb, at first, Deb was not happy about the car. She's like, "Well, I'm gonna go out and get it." And I'm like, "I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it." And then she saw the car when I got it home, and she's like, "That doesn't look too bad." Yeah, I know. That's why I bought it for $500. And she says, "If something happens to my Cadillac, I could drive this." And I'm like, "Yeah, honey, it's great. But it's got a Hemi in it, just like my Daytona." She didn't want to drive a Daytona because the Hemi. It's got a Hemi in it, just like the Daytona. Anyway, we were laughing about that. But yeah, she likes the car, so she's got no problem that I bought it. She's very happy. She said you did good. You know, it's a nice car. It's got brand new wheels on it, and they're the same wheels that are on my Daytona. And my Daytona wheels are a little rough, not that bad, but these are brand new. So I can swap the wheels and put the brand new wheels on the Daytona. And yeah, yeah, Michael Bear, I've got a Magnum and a Daytona. Both are '06. Yeah, one of each. So so that's how we got that home. Yeah, and it was a long day. Like I said, I left here at 8:45 in the morning and got home at 9:45. So it was a long ass day. But I'm glad they got the car. I'm not going to work on it right now. I got plenty of other things. Listen, it was sitting in his house since 2017. It's going to sit in here, at least in my yard, until this is done. Once this is done, then I'll pull the trigger. Either I did get a rebuild kit that he gave me that with the car. Um, so it's got all the seals and the gaskets and everything to rebuild the motor. And the damage to the motor, somebody, the original owner that he bought it from, painted the car, put new wheels on it, got it all fixed up for his daughter, and she was driving it. And I'm guessing this is me just hypothesizing totally. I have no idea. But a piece of foreign object got in the motor. So think about that. Like a bolt or a nut, because it got in one of the cylinders and destroyed it. It beat the shit out of the top of the piston, the head, the valves. It just beat it to death in there while this thing was bouncing around inside that cylinder while it was running. So how did it get in there? Somebody had to place it in the intake past the mass airflow sensor. So it happened while she was in the grocery store. She took the car to the grocery store, and while she was in the store, something happened. Because when she came out to start the car, that's when hell broke loose. So anyway, so I can fix the probably don't need to fix the piston damage. I think that'll probably be all right. The head damage, I could take a Dremel tool and smooth out all the little ding marks so I don't get any hot spots in the head. And I think it'll be fine. It's not going to run perfect, maximum horsepower race engine, but it should run just fine. It should run and drive just fine as a daily driver, no problem. It should run just fine. Um, yeah, it was a seashell. uh, so anyway, so that's the plan with that car. I'm not going to do anything right now. I didn't even really wash it. He did take the motor apart, and all the parts are in the back of the car. And I'm thinking I want to get them out of the back of the car. I'd like to get the car empty at least, so in case I want to, clean the interior, or she wants to clean the interior, since she's already pretty much taken. It's going to be her car. um, so I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with that. But the car's here. It's got it home safe, and yeah. So we'll see what I'm going to do with that. In the meantime, I've been driving the Daytona to. I only been driving it once a week. The Tuesday show, I drive it up there before my Tuesday night dinner at the church. They're right down the street from each other. So I go to the show, hang out there for a few hours, and then go straight to church, and then come home. And that's the only time I've been driving the Daytona. I did take it for a drive after I put all the new headlights in it. Um, I don't know. Was it last night? I think it was last night. I drove it up to the corner to the AutoZone I used to work at, because they have a dumpster out back with the big wood doors, to block it. And I ponied the car at those doors so I could align them. So I aligned the fog lights and I aligned the headlights and the high beams and everything, and got them where I wanted them. And that's the first time I've driven the car in the dark. And then all of a sudden, something weird started happening. It's never happened before because the lights have never been on before. But all the dash lights come on. It light all the check bulb lights come on, and then they go off. And then a few minutes later, they come on again, and then they go off. What the hell is this? Like, the headlights stay on, no problem there. Everything's fine. Car's running fine, no problem. But all the test lights come on, and then they go off. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know if that's a gremlin that the guy that sold me the car didn't tell me about, or if this is something new. I don't know. Not worried about it. Doesn't affect the drivability of the car. You know, just it's funny. It's just, you know, I thought that was hilarious that it started acting up. Um, no, it didn't break a valve, Eric. The valves are in place. I took a look at the head. You know, the heads are off the car, or off the motor in the back seat of the car, and you know he folded the seat down so it's a big flat back because it's a station wagon, and yeah, the heads are there. I saw the damage to the head, and the valves are there. It didn't break a valve. They're not bent. They're closed. They're fine. You know, everything's fine. It wasn't a valve. It swallowed something. And the reason I know that is because my buddy Howard did the same thing to his own Impala SS, trying to fix it himself, and he dropped a nut into the intake, didn't realize it, started the motor up, and it did the same thing. It beat the living shit out of that thing. So I know exactly. I've seen the damage before. I know what it is, and so I've got Howard's motor here that I'm rebuilding for him, and now I've got this motor. They had the same symptoms, a knock, and then when you take the heads off, it's like that wasn't a knock. What is this, Snaila Taga? Snaila Taga? Is that what I'm reading? um, Snail Stage? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the hell you spelled there. So anyway, so that's my fun with the cars, and where I'm at with all that. Um, this is an RT, by the way. The Magnum, both, of course, the Daytona's an RT, but the Magnum is an RT also. So it has that handling package on it, which includes those wheels. That's why the wheels that are on the Magnum match the wheels on my Daytona, because they're both RTs with the handling package, so they have identical wheels. And yeah, is the one you found? Does it run, or is there something wrong with it? 'Cause that's a screaming good deal if it runs for $600. And of course, today, well, it's actually last night it started. I went on Facebook again, and I got a new feed, and it's a Chrysler 300. Beautiful car. Oh my God. It looks perfect inside out. Same problem. Needs a motor. $1,300. Um, Cars in Clearwater. Much closer. Um, Beautiful. It's pearl white, I think. It's white or pearl white. Hard to tell in the picture. Inside's all white leather. Uh, it's and everything looks perfect. It's a beautiful car. $1,300. And I have to fix some, rebuild a motor in that one too. So now that one I don't think's a Magnum, or I mean a RT. So it probably doesn't have a Hemi in it. So I looked up motors. So this is hilarious. Wait till you hear this. The 2.7 six-cylinder, which is what I had in my '07 Charger when I was working for Allstate, they're like $2,500. The 5.7 goes for $2,500 to $3,500, but the 3.5 six-cylinder, $600, $900 running. No, not a core. Why? Apparently, the 3.5 was the most popular motor, and so there's a lot of them. So they're cheap. So I'm thinking the 300 probably has a six-cylinder in it. So I could buy a six-cylinder, buy that 300, put a salvage yard six-cylinder in it, and that car would be driving tomorrow. But I don't know. I think I got enough cars. I don't want to go into the engine rebuilding business right now. So I think I'm gonna. Um, a Borla exhaust. Yeah. No title. Yeah, it's always that. Um, the motor has a knock and no title. All right. Well, I figured out how to get around the no title. Um, I have I have friends in high places. So the way you get a no title car titled is you have to have a tow yard tow it and impound it, or say they towed it and impound it. Wink, wink. Uh, and then 30 days they put out a feeler. If they contact the owner because they do the registration through the tag office. They send a letter to the owner on record that you have a storage bill, a tow bill. You have 30 days to comply, or I own the car. They don't comply, obviously. He applies for title for the car. He gets a title for the car. Then he transfers the title into my name, and now I have a title for the car. So that's the easy way around a no title car, unless it's stolen. Of course, if it's stolen, the guy's still responsible for paying the tow bill and the storage fees if he wants his car back. But there's always a chance. It's an expensive car and they want it back. So, but this guy, the guy I bought my Magnum from, is already. Mine's a no title also. Um, doesn't have the title. He called the guy he bought the car from. The guy don't want to help. He's listen. I got rid of that car. I don't want nothing to do with that car. You're on your own. I gave you a title when I gave it to you. I'm not helping you fix it. Whatever you. So I know this guy's not going to respond to a letter from a tow company saying you owe this much in storage and tow fees. He's because he don't want nothing to do with the car. So I know that after 30 days he'll get the title. The tow yard will get the title, and then he'll give for $250 he's going to charge me. He'll put the title. He'll sell me the car, the title, and I can put it in my name. So same thing. Yeah, no title. It's a shame the guy is being that big of a dick that he won't help you out. Like go down to the tag office and get another title for you. But he don't want to help. So okay, whatever. So I'm not worried about it. Not a big issue right now. I'm not going to do a thing to the car till I have a title. So um, when I'm ready to get started on it, probably might be a year from now. We'll see. A year or less. Um, I'll have my buddy do the title thing, and once I have a title in hand, then I'll start working on the car. So, all right, Eric. Have a good night, buddy. We'll see you later. Yeah, apparently I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about these Chrysler engines, the sixes or the eights, how reliable they are or anything. But when you go online looking for a salvage yard motor, almost every one of them is a core. Core motor has a knock. You know, parts only. Nobody has a running motor. Very few, except the 3.5s, and that's why they're cheap because they got a whole shitload of running ones. So they're they just want to move them. But the 2.7 and the 5.7, you can't get a running one. They're all broken. So I haven't even looked for a 6.1. The SRT8 package. I'm sure that's $4 or $5 for a running one of those. So, but yeah. So that's all. That's all the fun with that. 3D printing. I haven't really done anything with this printer. I did print. Um, I gave away. I printed a big, tall, a 300 size Eiffel Tower in this one, and I gave it away to a friend of mine. She wanted it, and I gave it to her. So I printed another one, and it's over there. You might be able to see it. I can't tell if you can see it, but it's right there. So I printed another one. Um, that's all I've done with the printers right now. I've just been too busy with the garage. Um, getting the headlights, which I don't know if you guys, on a Dodge Daytona, you have to take the whole front bumper cover off to change the headlights. Not the bulbs, the whole headlight, the assembly. And there's 34 fasteners between bolts, nuts, plastic pop fasteners, all along the bottom, across the splash guard thing, up the sides, on both sides, and across the top. And you have to remove 34 fasteners to get the cover off. And then you have to take the headlights out and put the new ones in, and then you put it all back together. And it was a pain in the ass. Somebody had worked on it prior and broke the clips on two spots. There was only two clips. That there was two screw holes. The guy put 8 2-inch long, either a sheet metal or a wood screw through the bumper cover into the splash guard thing under the car. 8 of them to replace the 2 broken. And I'm like, what the hell were you doing? So I went down to the parts store, bought the clips that were broke, replaced those. Well, I was missing a couple of screws, so I had to buy a little package of screws that were close enough. They're not exactly right, but close enough. And then I put it all back together the way it came from the factory, and it's fine. So I don't know what all those extra 2-inch long screws going through the bottom were about, but so I fixed that. But it was a pain in the butt, taking that nose off. Um, so yeah, the ones I hate, Jeff, are the ones on both fender liners, because there's a plastic fender liner in the front wheels that are attached to that cover, and there was three snap uh, clips on each side, and they were the kind that you push the center in to release. And I'm like, so I get it out, and I'm like, okay, well, how do you put that back in? Because you can't push from the back side; it's all enclosed. So I can't push that. I can't put that in the hole and then push it from the back side to push that pin that I had just pushed out of the front to release it, to push it back in. There's no way to get behind it to do that. So I put different clips in that are a normal looking clip for that. They look perfect. They look like they belong there. But I wasn't going to put those stupid things back in. So, yeah. So I had to go to the parts store and buy some, clips. So, but anyway, yeah. And then I bought LED bulbs for them, and the bulbs were wrong. They don't fit. Go figure. Got them from Amazon. So I'll send those back. Right now I'm taking a break from the car, but I'm going to order LED headlights and replace the headlights. I'm going to leave the fog lights alone. I'm not putting LEDs in the fog, but I'm going to put them in the high beams and the low beams. So you used a nail to push it out, Jeff? Is that what you did? Yeah, pushing it out wasn't a problem. I popped it right out. But there's no way to put it back in. Not from the backside on that car. You can't get back there. It's all pre-assembled back there, so you can't get back behind it to push it back the other way. So I just replace it with different ones. So yeah, we were just in Deb and I just got home from at the flying field, and I pulled in next to the Daytona because it's outside right now because I'm working over here, and we were admiring the headlights. Boy, they look good. She says, "Oh, those are beautiful." I said, "I know. They really came out nice, and they were cheap. It was like 80, I think $88 for a pair of the entire housing. You know, with the shell, you know, the reflectors inside, the clear lens over the front, and the whole 9 yards. No bulbs. $88 for the pair." I was like, "Geez," and they look fantastic. So, um, yeah. So anyway, let's see. Anything? What other news have I got to talk about? Um, that's about it, I guess. I we, Deb was learning to drive an RC car today. I had the Fury truck that I bought 2 weeks ago, and the Vortex truck, and my Team Associate truck. I had all three of those out at the field, and she was practicing driving them around, trying to figure out how to do it. She has trouble with her left and her right, so that's fun. Oh, go left. No, your other left. um, but she was learning. You know, she took it easy. She didn't run it into anything. She didn't flip it over. She did get in the tall grass. Had to go get it once. She did. She did actually run it into the tall grass, and it wouldn't back out, so she couldn't back it up. So that was the only time she had to go get it. And yeah, she did all right on that. So yeah, Philip. Hey man, good to see you. Welcome to the show. I made my UMX Timber X today. I flew that today. Um, it was way out of trim. Oh my god! And they don't give you the loop. You know, you guys that are familiar with the UMX planes, do you remember that the push rod had a loop in it, and you could either squeeze it or spread it to make the adjustment? Not on the Timber X. They didn't do that. And I was afraid to, unscrew it from the arm and try screwing the threads because it's just shrunk wrapped to another rod. It looked like, and I knew if I did that, it was just gonna fuck that up. So I'm like, forget that. So I did all the adjusting I could in the radio because I wasn't gonna try screwing with that. So I got it all trimmed out, but it was really too windy today to enjoy it. The wind was blowing it all over the place, and you're trying to trim it out when the wind's blowing it all over the place. That was a nightmare. So, but I didn't break it or anything. It's fine. I got it. I think it took 4 or 5 takeoff and landings before I got it trimmed in the sub trims to where it would fly straight and level, and then activate the safe, and it worked right. And yeah, so don't tell Crystal. I know she's sitting right next to you. Yeah. I don't know. Mine's being shipped from a new shipping company, which is weird. Um, what's it called? It's called Yahoo. Yahoo. It's a Chinese shipping company. When it gets to here, I'm assuming um, the U.S. mail will deliver it. The planes. Um, so I'm sure that the T-28 and the Corsair shipped, and they did ship. So I know they're on the way. Um, but the P-40's on back orders, so I have to wait for that. Um, Time to glue it all back together. Yeah, yeah, those linear servos. That's why I don't buy the UMXs, guys. I got to tell you, I don't. I don't think I can put my hand on it, but I bought a UMX size uh, Tundra from Hobby King, and it's got real servos in it. You know, sub micro 9 grams. I don't know what they call those, but real servos, not those stupid linear pieces of crap that Horizon uses. And that's why I don't like. One of the reasons I don't like it. Also, this plane has real hinges, not tape hinges. It's got real hinges in real foam with real servos for less money than the UMXs you get from Horizon Hobby. So I got to tell you, I love that little airplane. It's just as much fun to fly, way more durable, way more. You know, it'll last forever. You guys, you know, if you fly your UMXs, yeah, they definitely have an expiration date. You know, the tapes start coming untaped, the hinges are falling off. It's the linear servos get damaged. Yeah, they're you know they have a shelf life for sure. Um, but anyway, that's why I always wait. I don't buy them unless they're on sale. I won't buy a UMX unless it's on sale. I'm not paying full price for a UMX or anything. I don't care what they come out with. They could come out with a Super Tucano. I wouldn't buy it at full price. So the I think the UMX Mustang. No, I take it back. The FMS Mustang's on sale. The Voodoo. I think Voodoo's on sale. Maybe it's just Voodoo, or maybe um, it might be Dago Red too. I can't remember. I was flipping through all these sales going on. So I'm pretty sure that the um, Voodoo's on sale. How do I feel about radios? Well, I think I have a Philips and I have a Sony radio and they sound pretty good. I have I think it's a Sherwin or surround sound setup. I love that thing. It's old. It's very old. I've had it a long time. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I like radios. Well, that's what I was asking about. So I'm talking about my Radio Master in one of the flights today. While I'm recording, I was talking about my Radio Master, and I'm using a FR Sky receiver, so I have the telemetry, and I don't care what the timer says. I go by what the battery voltage is, and the telemetry tells me the battery voltage. So, and I'm talking all this, and if you guys don't want to hear it, just tell me, and I'll put music on. I'll cut the audio out and just put music in. But I was talking about the radio in one or two of the flights today. So I have a bunch of flights. I think I have a total about 8 or 10 videos now that I have to edit and put up of flights on the Carbon Z T28, the Viper 90, um, the my Twin Otter, the X Fly Twin Otter. I think I have a couple of videos on that one. Um, I don't think I videoed the L39 today. Did I? Maybe. Oh, I videoed the Super Tucano from the Nexa from Motion RC. I did a video on that today. And the regular Super Tucano from Hobby King, the Avios. So I did those two videos. And then I did, trying to remember 3 weeks ago what I flew. Besides the Carbon Z, the the Otter. Oh, my RV8. So I did another video on the RV8. Um, let's see, what else did I fly? The Carbon Z. I videoed that last week, 3 weeks ago, and today. So I got a bunch of videos. So I just have to edit them and get them up. So I guess I'll take a page out of the Jeff and Lower Alabama group, and I'll post one a day at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Let's see, what else? Anything else new and exciting going on? Oh, all right. So I got scammed. Not really. I'm not. I mean, of course, I used um, PayPal, so I'm not gonna lose my money. But there was a flash sale on a four-post lift. Okay, um, and the website said we have to move these out. We got new inventory coming in. We got to get these out of here. So we're blowing them out at this everyday low price. Sounds too good to be true, so probably is. Yeah, well, it was. And I suspected that. And right after I bought it, I called Discover and said, listen, you know, you're going to get a PayPal for this, and I already think it's a scam. What do you guys want to do about it? And they said, well, did you get it yet? I said, no, it hasn't shipped yet. Well, you got to give them time to ship it. I said, okay, but I'm really thinking it's a scam. I don't, so I just want to give you a heads up. Well, we can't do anything until, we've given them time for it to ship. And I said, well, how much time do you want to give them? And he said, well, give them 2 weeks. Okay, all right, I'll give them 2 weeks. And it was a good brand. It was a Park. What was it called? They're gray and yellow. Ben Park, I think that's what it was. Ben Park. It's a good brand, It was $1,189, which was a good deal. And if they're blowing them out for inventory, it could have been. It was one of those. Yeah, maybe. You know, I mean that's cheap, but if they got to get them out, they got to get them out. So, I thought maybe, yeah, but it was a scam. The website's gone; they're not there anymore. That same shipping company that's shipping my FMS planes has it listed that they're that they're processing. They got the number from the order from the dealer I bought it from, and it says processing. So my guess is that it's never going to make it to the boat. That's why it's in processing. They sent the shipping label over to them that hey, we're sending this lift. You got to take the you know USA. So it's still in processing. So I filed my claim, and of course they took the money off my credit card while they try to get their money back. And I don't know how that works, and I don't really care. That's their problem. But yeah, I was trying to buy, and I'm going to buy another four. I am going to buy a four-post lift. That was always part of building this garage. Um, but I didn't want to pull the trigger just that minute, but the price was too good. I had to pull the trigger. I mean, from the time I walked, they had 30 available. I was right here on this computer when I found it, and they had 30 available. And by the time I went in the house to order it, in the computer in the house, they were down to 3. So 27 other idiots before me threw money at it. So I'm not the only idiot. Where did you order that from, Fred? Yeah, I bought the E-Flite Cherokee. I bought the old one, the red and white one, not the blue and white one. The red and white one, and I didn't even get the first takeoff. It was going down the runway on the first takeoff, and the nose gear broke, just like everybody else's. So never even got it in the air. Yeah, that's sitting right there too. It's still out because That was the newest purchase that I tried to fly. Oh, use points, $200 off. Good deal. Yeah, I used all my points when I bought. What did I buy at Horizon? To use. Oh, I think I used my points on the. I bought the Vortex, the Fury, and the Timber X all at the same time together. The UMX Timber X, those three, and I used all my points on that. So yeah, I got all three of those. I think I only had to spend 140 bucks in all my points to get all the two RC trucks and the Timber X. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Yeah, I love the looks of the Cherokee. I don't know how it flies because I didn't get mine in the air. I got to fix that nose gear, but yeah, I have always loved the Cherokee. It's been a you know we were talking about it in the chat, or maybe we weren't. I don't know if it was. Yeah, it was definitely a chat that we were all in, the poop group or one of them anyway, where you had that string line, fly it to the runway game thing that you could buy long ago. I think it was called Real Flight, but not the real flight we know. And and mine had a red and white Cherokee, the one I got back in the day, and I always kept that plane out. I still have the box and the controller and everything, um, but it's put away. But I always had the Cherokee out because I love that little airplane. So I have it sitting on my desk and make engine noises and So I saw it recently. It's still hanging around. Did you have the old one, Phil? Did you have the original blue one, 1.5? That's it, Philip. You're right. Ben Pack. That's what I ordered. Yep. Yeah. So it's obviously not coming. Yeah. I'll be thrilled to death if a big truck comes. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, I got this big heavy load for you. I'll be like, yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen. Um, and I thought it was a scam right from the beginning, but that's why you use PayPal. You're protected. So my PayPal, my Discover card's hooked to my PayPal, and then it went all through, and I called them immediately that day. As soon as I clicked buy it, I called them and said, "Hey, listen, I'm just giving you a heads up. I think this might be a scam." And they weren't worried about it. They were like, "Well, no problem. We got to give them time to ship it. So, call if you don't get it in 2 weeks, call us back." Okay. So, do you think the red one flies better than the blue one? I love that airplane. I got two of the blue ones. It's a phenomenally good flying airplane. God, that thing is awesome. I love that airplane. Um, so yeah, that's a really good flyer. Just like the Twin Otter, the old Twin Otter, not the new one they just pre-ordered. The old one is a great flying. You know, and I had one and accidentally broke the props. Not flying it. I had it outside during the hurricane and it blew over and broke the props. Yeah, I know, I'm an idiot. Um, but yeah, one day Tower Hobbies out of nowhere, they've been discontinued forever. Got them on their scratch and dent, and they must have found a shipping container out back full of airplanes that they didn't know they had, because they had all these Twin Otters. I'm like, yeah, you're shitting me. I bought two of them. You know, and I got them. They're perfect. You know, brand new in the box. Yeah, but they put them in their scratch and dent sale, and I bought them. So now I have three of them. I got one with broken props, but the rest of the plane's perfect. And then I got two spares. So yeah, that's a really nice flying airplane too. But yeah, I love my Cirrus. Yeah, it's a great flying airplane. Yeah, you never found that plane, right, Fred? Am I remembering right? You never found that airplane. Somebody probably found it, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think you ever found that one, if I remember right. Yeah, of course, the red one's got the smart, technology in it. Yeah, yeah, it's a great flying airplane. It's great looking too. I mean, they did a really nice job. The flaps, it's got Fowler flaps on it. And, it's a really nice plane. I was super impressed with that when I got mine. So that's why I got a second one. I was like, well, this is really nice. Just a great flying, and you wouldn't think the wings are so skinny. You wouldn't think it would fly as good as it does, but man, that's a great flying airplane. I was really impressed with that. Oh, yeah. Well, my big thing was the new computer didn't come with Windows Movie Maker. Came with some other editing software that you have to purchase. You can use it to open files, but you can't edit them and re-save them unless you pay. Not happening. So I had to go out to one of the file downloads. Is it Captain Geek or General Geek or something? The Army guy download. Anyway, I downloaded Windows um, Movie Maker and loaded that on the computer. So now I can edit my videos. And then the second problem was the reader in the old laptop wouldn't read my SD card anymore that comes out of the camera. The new laptop doesn't have an SD card reader at all. So I had to buy I actually bought two different ones, but they're right here. So this is an SD card reader that has USB, and it reads the Super Mac Daddy giant cards and a standard SD card and the mini SD card, and then I don't know what this one in the front is. It's a little bigger than a standard SD card. So this particular one has four different capabilities of different cards, so that's cool. But the one I really thought Bach was cool was this one here. This is a hub. You can plug it into an iPhone. You can plug it into an Android phone. You can plug it into a USB port on a laptop, and then it has two USB ports, a mini SD card, a regular SD card. Oh, that's the mini. That's a super mini. I don't know what that is. and it's standard SD card, mini SD, and then a super mini. I've never had one that small. So I ordered two of these. You know, this one that I call my hub, and then this extra SD reader, because the reader won't work in that one. So I figured if I leave this one plugged into that laptop and I wanted to edit anything on that laptop, I could plug this one in. So anyway, so that's what I had to do to be able to get the videos off the camera, because I didn't have any way of getting them off the camera until I bought these things. So now I can do some editing. So I got some videos to put back up. Well, that's cool, Phil. Yeah. So yeah, I agree 100%, man. It's an awesome flying airplane. I love that Cirrus. It's a good airplane. No problem. I really like that one. Um, Horizon makes a lot of planes I like. I gotta be honest, you guys know I'm not a Spectrum guy, but you can't argue with a airplane that comes with a receiver already in it that you just bind and fly. So now I'm not going to buy any. I wouldn't. I was on the fence whether I was going to leave the receiver in my Viper 90 or not. I'm still on the fence. Every time I fly that thing, I'm like, because I'm afraid, I'm going to get shot down. But so far, so good. Um, but I would never buy like a Hanger 9 or anything expensive like that and put a Spectrum receiver in it. No way. Never happened. But I buy the bind and flies. The value's just too good to pass up, I think. And I'll just take my chances. Those planes are cheap enough that I'm willing to take the chance that it'll be okay. And so far, so good. I haven't had one. I haven't had one of those crash. I did put a tactic receiver that I got from EQ. Not pointing any fingers at Eric. Not his fault. I just got extra receivers that he didn't want, and they bind to my Radio Master radio. So I'm like, well, cool. I'll throw this in my new T-28 and fly that. And I took off, and it was flying around just fine. And then all of a sudden, lost it. No control, and it just did this right in the right. So, so I shouldn't have done it on that plane. I should have put it in something else. That was a bad choice. But anyway, so I replaced it. That's why I ordered the new one. And I'm going to attempt. I think I can glue the fuselage back together perfect. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. It was a real clean break, so I won't have to replace the fuselage, just the prop. Um, I think just I'm not sure I broke the prop. Now that I'm thinking about it, did I break the prop on that one? I'm going to go with I did. I think I did break the prop. So yeah, so I just have to order a prop and glue the fuselage, and I think we'll be good. Um, so we'll see. How did it go? Yeah, I don't remember. I'll do it backwards. Yeah, I have the Yak 11, Dave. I bought that. Go figure, right? Yeah, there's only two people in the room you knew one of us had it. It was either Fred or me. And we probably both, I'll bet Fred has it too. So I'll bet we both have it. Hey, what do you want to bet? Um, I'm not going to say it's not a bad flyer at all. Um, it's not my favorite flyer. I can say that, but it's not a bad flyer. You know, it flies okay. There's a lot of planes I like a lot better than it, but you know, it flies okay. It's not a hard fly. Just a little. It's a little. If I remember right, it's been a while since I flew it, but I think when you slow it down, it wants to tip stall. Um, if I remember right. Um, so you just you gotta stay on the throttle, landing it. You know, fly it in. But other than that, I don't think it had a. Yeah, I don't think it had any other bad tendencies. Just a little touchy on the landing. It's you slow it down, it wants to tip stall. I had that same problem with my F1 190 from Dynam. You know, same thing. It gets slow and it went. Oh, you know, another one that was like that was the AT6 Texan from Motion RC. It was a prop plane, but it was a it was a free wing plane. It wasn't a. You know, this was before free wing came out. They made a couple of prop planes, and one of them was that AT6 Texan, and that was a terrible tip staller when it slowed down. I actually put a gyro in that one just on the rudder, so it would catch the when it was trying to tip stall, it would catch it. I disabled it on the elevator and the ailerons. I only had it on the rudder to prevent the tip stall, and it worked. It, flew great after that. I still have that plane. Nice airplane. So, but yeah, the Yak's it's cool looking. I like the paint scheme on it. You know, it's a cool looking airplane. It's a nice quality wise, nice airplane. Um, just a little touchy on the flying, a little bit. There's definitely that new Tucano from Hobby King is a way better flyer. But if you're into that, if you're wanted for the warbirdness of it, just keep your airspeed up, and it'll be fine. You know, it doesn't really do anything stupid when you're flying it. It's just landing that was a little tricky, if I remember right. I think I did. I think that's what it was. I think it's a good looking airplane. That's why I bought it. You know, it's like, wow, that's really cool. So, and I still think it looks good, even though I had, I don't even think, yeah, I don't think I damaged that plane or anything. If I had successful landings, um, but like I said, it just got a little squirrely. You get it slowed down too much. So, but yeah, I didn't crash it or anything. It's all in one piece. It's behind this wall though. I can't get to it now. It's buried in there right now. So typical Russian plane. Yeah. Well, Roy, I'm going to say one thing. This could be my fault. I might have had the CG back too far, and that's why it got squirrely. Because I tend to, lean more to tail heavy, um, and that might be why. Maybe I need to move the battery forward, and and maybe that would stabilize it better. So I'm not going to rule that out. It could just have been I had the battery back too far. I didn't get out of the range of the CG, but I was at the back end of the in range. I always try to move my batteries back. Um, so yeah, so I would say that's a real possibility that could be the problem. Who are you watching fly it, Dave? Were you watching John? What is it, HVAC or whatever? Yeah, John something. I don't know what those letters stand for. VO VOCH or something like that. I know he had one and was flying it. Yeah, I'll tell you why I don't like the nose heavy. When you're, if you get too far, and that's why I tend to try to push my batteries back. On some planes, you don't have enough elevator authority, and if you have it too nose heavy, um, you don't have enough elevator authority to overcome it. And while you're slowing down, it's going to start nosing down, and you can't recover it. And I don't like that. So that's why I tend to push my batteries back more in that window. I like to keep them on the back half so that I don't have to fight the nose, trying to pull the nose up at the last minute to flare. When the CG's on the CG aft, the elevator's got enough authority to keep the plane flying. So that's kind of my strategy there. But they say it can make them, some planes a little touchy, and that's probably what happened with mine. That that my Yak 11's probably, if when I get this done and I go fly that plane again, I'm gonna play with the nose weight. That's always been the plan. Ever since I flew it that one day, I probably put 6 flights on it that day. Um, the plan was to go home and then figure out how to, you know, fix that, and then try it again. So, and more than likely, I was gonna just start moving the battery forward and see if that didn't cure it. And if it did, dynamite. So I must have stepped in some poison ivy or something today. My foot over here, my ankle is itchy as shit. I don't know why. Never had that problem out the field before. Now this ankle is just really itching. I'll tell you which plane I was having an elevator authority with the most was the 70 millimeter F-16 from Horizon. It doesn't even want to take off because you don't have enough elevator authority. Um, that's not the main reason. The main reason that plane has such a hard time taking off, and the same problem with the A7T. The replacement to they're going to replace the T-45 with the new red tail. Um, it's got those chimes that come off the front of the wing. Go all the way up by the canopy. And if you don't have a positive uh, attitude going down the runway so the air gets under those chimes, if the air gets on top of them, it just starts driving the nose gear down because the nose gear is collapsible. And you can't rotate it. It won't take off. So yeah, it's a little, um, and that's because the F-16 should have flying stabs, not elevators, and so you wouldn't have that problem with a flying stab for sure. So yeah, yeah, David, that's my problem too. So many to buy, so little room to keep them. No, hey, I saved the room problem. I fixed that, but yeah, yeah, there's a lot of competition out there on good airplanes. And just you can either pick and choose, or you pull a Fred and rent 3 storage sheds and store all your. See, Fred hasn't told anybody this, but when he retires, he's going to buy a storage facility and run it just so he has free rental for his airplanes. Because he's already taken up half of his, his you know, inventories. Yeah, David. I mean, if you like it, I'd buy it. I didn't have a problem with it. I like it. I definitely like it. But it's been a while since I've flown it, so I could be way off base. Um, I remember I had an issue with it. It wasn't a big issue. It was and I think maybe moving the battery forward was gonna fix it, but it wasn't a big deal. I didn't. I'm not sorry. I don't have any buyer's remorse. I'm glad I bought it. I like it. It's really good. Did they come out with Roy? And you'd probably know this. Did they come out with a new paint scheme on that? Because mine's a gray and green, if I remember right, and the new one don't look that color. And I think they changed it. Yeah, a lot of people won't buy from Hobby King, Roy, and I had my issues with them for many years. But the planes they're coming out with now are beautiful. That Albatross, the C-130 with retractable landing gear for no shit. A C-130 with retractable landing gear. That's cool as shit. Um, that twin, the King Twin was a great airplane. I love man. That new Super Tucana was freaking awesome. God, I love that airplane. Well, I'll tell you. Um, I always liked Dynam airplanes because they were a lot cheaper, but you had to do a little more work. And I didn't have a problem with that at all. Like gluing the pilot in, it's not already installed, gluing the windscreen on because it doesn't come installed, silly shit like that. And I'm like, really? Yeah, I'll do this. Save some money. I got no problem with this. This is fine. So I didn't really ever have any problems with Dynam airplanes. Like I said, the only one I've ever gotten rid of was my P the the Focke-Wulf 190. That's what it was. Yeah, the Focke-Wulf 190 was squirrely for me, and maybe again same thing. Maybe I had the battery back too far. Um, but my I traded it to my buddy for a plane, and of course he puts a receiver in it and all that, and then and I have to test fly it. He always has me test fly his airplane, so I did, and I was like, oh my god, what did you do to this thing? This is awesome. And he put some cheap gyro in it he got on eBay, and I'm like, oh my, all right, I want it back. And he just laughed, oh no, you didn't get it back. But I want it back. This is awesome. Yeah, and he wouldn't give it back. But yeah, I really like that. Was the only one I had an issue with that I would sell it or get rid of it. And so I'll bet that was another one. Either a combination of a computer, and more nose weight, or maybe just the nose weight would have done the trick. So, yeah, I bought two of the Spitfires. They finally put them on sale where I thought they were reasonably priced, and I bought two of them. They were both the Desert scheme, but I repainted one of them the green and brown instead of the sandy tan. Um, it came out really good. It looks good. So the sandy tan one is, I think it's sitting right there. I didn't put that one away yet. I gotta move it. It's in the way. Is that it? No, that's not it. Pretty sure that one's still on. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. It's up there. Yeah, the sandy one's right there. Yeah, I see it. All right, guys. Well, I've had a long day. I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna call it. But before I go, last thing, guys, check out the deals. Everybody's got stuff on sale. The Father's Day, it all ends tomorrow. There's some really great sales. I haven't even looked at Tower, but I guarantee a Tower's got some great sales. And always check the scratch and dent department at Tower because they put perfectly good airplanes in the scratch and dent section, and the only thing they list is that there's damage to the box, and there's never any damage to the box. That's just the excuse they use to put the plane on sale and blow it out the door. So don't be afraid that it's in the scratch and dent. They're never damaged. I bought a shitload of planes out of the scratch and dent, and never had a problem. So yeah, so go check out the deals, guys. There's some really really great deals going on right now. I know Motion. No, I'm sorry. I know. Actually, I think Motion's got a plane on sale. What did they? I think Bo told me there was one on sale. Well, I don't want to say. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But I think there's something on sale. All right, David. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, well, Roy, like I said, Horizon's got a great deal going on right now on a bunch of planes. $150 off on the Carbon ZT-28, I believe. Or I think I remember that. So that's a good deal. Um, I don't remember if there was anything at Hobby King, but I would check them anyway. Um, Fair RC, uh, which they're an FMS dealer. They have a bunch of surface vehicles on sale, and then they got um, a few airplanes. Um, and one of them happens to be a P40, and I don't have one of those yet, and I want it. So, but the T-28's on sale, the P40's on sale, and the Corsair are all on sale. And the I think the P40 I think is on sale for 120 off, and I think the T-28, these are FMS products. I think the T-28 is 90 bucks off, maybe 80. And then the third one is the um, Corsair, the 1400 size Corsair. And that's either a 90 bucks off. So, yeah, pretty good deals, guys. I check everywhere. Banana Hobbies, Tower Hobbies, Horizon Hobby, Motion RC, Hobby King. Um, what's that other one? Shit. Um, ugh, boy, I'm really getting tired. Yeah, just check everywhere. Take a minute and run because everybody's got these big sales going on. Yeah, so I check everywhere. Don't just look at the Father's Day sale either at Horizon and Tower. Go in the scratch and dent. Go in the clearance. Go in the summer. They're still running that summer sizzler, I think they call it. Go look at all three of those at Horizon. I think they've had the same thing at Tower, but they call it something different. But go look everywhere, and then go to Fair RC. Go there and that'll give you the price that FMS is selling this shit for, and you're gonna have to pre-order the P40 because they sold right out of that. But um, you make a decision whether you want to order it from Fair RC or straight. Oh, excuse me, straight from FMS, and go from there. But yeah, I'd look everywhere. I'd look everywhere that you can think of. Anybody you've dealt with, check and see if they don't have a Father's Day sale going on. Because once one guy puts out, something super cheap, everybody else has got to follow if they want to, capture your business because they know everybody. Well, they're selling that plane for $20. They're going to go there, and that's right. They're going to go there. So, most times. So make sure you look everywhere because, when they see everybody else running $100 off, $150 off, they're gonna comply with something, to try to match that deal. So check it out. All right. Yep. FMS. They have a big sale going on. I don't know what else. Well, the E-Flight Carbon C's on sale. So their Horizon's got some. They've got some E-Flight planes on sale. So yeah, go check it out. Go see what's going on. You might find some really good deals. I bet you do. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it. Have a great night. Thanks for coming. I hope you guys pick out some good airplanes, and if you do, let me know. You know, you can save them up till next week. Most of you guys have my phone number. Text me. Just send me a text message. Hey, I bought the twin Scooby Dooby Doo. Whatever. Send me a message. Let me know what you bought. All right. All right, guys. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. I'm out. If I can find the out button. Oh, I think wasn't it at the bottom? No, that's on my phone. It's at the bottom. Oh well, this stupid thing that it never went live. It says that's why I can't find the out button. I'll stop it here.